Time for some more potting on, and look at these Snapdragons. Aren't they just majestic? So these are new for the January seed shop. These are strawberry cream. They are unbelievable, so majestic in the garden, and you can sow them from the autumn all the way through to late winter, very, very early spring. Because they're so vigorous, they are fantastic if you've not started your Snapdragons yet, or if you need some new ones. Because of the strong growth, it means that even from a slightly later sowing, you end up with a garden filled with colour. And also the bees and the butterflies love them. I am just potting on the Legend Light Pink. They are absolutely enormous, aren't they? So I'm just going to let them settle in, and then I will be pinching them out and we can take some cuttings. You can see here we've got a couple of little side shoots already. Now these will stay fairly underdeveloped until you take the apical dominance away. So until we take the top out, they won't really develop at all any further because the stem is taking all of the hormones. So by removing the hormones, we'll be able to wake these side shoots up. And then look how much lovely stem and growth we've got there. So I can double the amount of plants that I've got from my seed packet by taking some cuttings. So we will do that together. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, if you're going to pot them on into 15 cell trays anyway, why don't you just sow them in 15 cell trays? Now there's a number of reasons. Number one, it's a huge waste of compost and space. You want to sow more plants than you're going to need because things happen. Some of the seeds might not germinate, some might get damping off, some might get eaten. So I always use a 40 cell tray so I can sow more plants than I need, and then I can cherry pick. Well, actually I don't cherry pick, I keep them all and end up sharing them. Another reason is the compost will go stale. So a tiny little seedling doesn't need that amount of compost or space. The risk is that compost will hold on to moisture. There are not enough roots taking the moisture out of the compost, so you'll end up overwatering the tray, potentially rotting the seed. And then when the plant is big enough to need that extra compost, you might well have destroyed the soil structure from watering during the winter period. So fresh, fluffy compost, which is full of nutrients, the nutrients will also leach away with all the watering. So you're saving space, you're saving compost, and then when you move the plants on, not only can you cherry pick and make sure you've got enough, you are then giving them a boost with brand new, fresh compost. And you can see from the plants that I've shown you, that is true. Larkspur, for example, look at this luscious tray of larkspur. I am not going to pot these on yet because they really do not like over watering. And the thing with larkspur is they've got very delicate roots. They don't have many roots. So, for example, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen for you in a second. Agrostemma have got more roots than cornflowers. Cornflowers are more susceptible to rotting than agrostemma because the fewer roots they've got, the more damage is done that's done to the plant if those roots are then damaged.